What is good, y'all? Welcome back to the Upper. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, I know y'all have been wondering, where was the Game 6 reaction? Now, I just wanted to wait for some time before I gave out the Game 6 reaction because this is a very roller coaster, emotional type of game. And obviously the ending was crazy. And I just wanted to let everything digest instead of giving like my actual in the moment reaction, like when it could have just been very reactionary. I just wanted to calm myself down, take a day to kind of process everything and do my best analysis of the game and kind of come in with a level head and deliver to you guys what I thought, my thoughts on the game and stuff. So yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy the video. Make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, comment down below. Stick around till the end of the video. Game 7 is tomorrow. As I'm recording this video, tonight, the night before Game 7. So Game 7 is tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern, in Boston. It's going to be a crazy game. And, as a basketball fan, you got to love it because it's a Game 7. As a Heat fan, you just don't want to make it too hard for yourself. But we just did that, and we got to pay the price for it by playing a Game 7 on the road. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. So, yeah, I mean, we got to talk about Game 6. We didn't even recap Game 5 properly, but I'm not really here to talk about Game 5. Boston kind of dominated that whole game from the jump. But Game 6, again, Boston came out strong, and they really set a tone defensively. And the offense of the Miami Heat was just not able to get in a groove. Now, we were kept in the game, primarily because of our three-point shooting. Gabe Vincent hit, a couple of threes. Caleb Martin was outstanding, as he's been the whole series. And yeah, I mean, the role players kept us in the game, and the two stars, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, were complete no-shows until the fourth quarter where Jimmy turned up, but Bam was a no-show. Jimmy was a no-show until the fourth. And yeah, I mean, the two stars didn't set the tone, and the role players had to pick up the slack. And fortunately for us, we were in a game because of them. Even Duncan Robinson. I know a lot of people are going to look at those two missed threes, but if it wasn't for Duncan Robinson, we wouldn't even be in the game. So you got to give Duncan credit. Max, I know a lot of people are going to talk about the putback and how he did not box Derek White out, but forgetting one or two plays, the role players were the reason we were in the game. I know Jimmy turned it on late, drew a couple of fouls, and obviously drew the three shot foul, and before that had an and one, and he was good. He had 8 points down the stretch, which was, he was doing Jimmy type stuff, but the first 3 quarters was as bad of a performance that I've ever seen from Jimmy. He was terrible. And yeah, Boston's defense was good, but he was just missing shots, bro. He was just missing shots that he makes. And honestly, it wasn't even just about the fact that he was missing. He was just not taking them. And we know as Heat fans, Jimmy wants to be a playmaker first. He doesn't want to set the tone until the fourth. Sometimes he does. Sometimes against Milwaukee Game 4, where he had 56, he set the tone from the jump. He had 20 something in the first quarter. So he's capable of doing that. But I guess maybe because he wants to save his legs. I don't know if the ankle is still bothering him. I don't know what the excuse is, but everybody, the training staff, the coaching staff, everybody's saying that he's fine. So in my mind, he's fine. I think, no matter what excuse you want to make for him, if you're playing out on that court, you're healthy. And, I liked Spo's adjustment of going to Caleb Martin in the starting lineup instead of Kevin Love. Kevin Love has been getting played, off the floor in the starting lineup. But I was surprised that, number one, we did not see Haywood Highsmith. And number two, we continue to see Cody Zeller. I was shocked. I was extremely shocked. Now I get you want to play Zeller because, they bring Williams off the bench. He's a big body. Now, obviously he's not the tallest player, but he's still a bigger player. And I get why he wants to combat that by bringing in a true center like Zeller. But I think Zeller is the absolute worst option out of Love, Zeller, and Highsmith to play the backup 5 role. Love at least can provide something offensively. I know the Zeller-Kyle Lowry pick and roll was doing wonders in the series against the Knicks, but both of them have been absolutely atrocious in the series. I'm not even gonna start on Kyle Lowry because like he's been terrible. He's probably been the worst player on the Heat besides Zeller this whole series. So he had that one quarter in game 1 where he was pretty good, and apart from that, like he just hasn't done anything the whole series, and the bench has really struggled because of that. But yeah, I was very surprised not to see Haywood Highsmith because I think he's held Tatum to 3 for 17 shooting in all of his possessions against him in the season. So, I think, Spo definitely should have played Highsmith. I don't know why. I get he wants to stick to his rotations and stuff, but I don't know. Clearly, we can see Gabe Vincent doesn't have a big impact on this team because whenever he's not on the floor, we're losing a pull-up threat. Kyle Lowry just refuses to take the mid-range jump shots that Gabe Vincent takes, and he's just not. In his prime, maybe he could knock them down, but he's just not a mid-range shooter anymore. Like Gabe Vincent will take those pull-up shots, Lowry won't. That's the difference between the two players right now. Strus, again, the putback was big, bro. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people will say, "Oh, he was trying to, guard Tatum, blah blah blah." And yeah, you don't want Tatum to beat you. I understand. And Spo can say the ball bounced the wrong way, but Spo, I disagree because like Derek White the only thing on his mind was just to run to the hoop, into the basket, and make sure that he just got the offensive rebound. And Strus, he was just late. There should have been some type of communication. As soon as, someone should have sank below. If Strus would have helped on Tatum, someone should have gotten Derek White. I don't know whose man that was. I don't know like whose help that was. Was it Bam? Because I saw Bam like sitting like in the paint-ish area, like a little bit above the free throw line. It definitely was not whoever was in the corner, which I think was Caleb, and it wasn't Jimmy because Jimmy was contesting. Jimmy was on Tatum, and Gabe Vincent was contesting Smart's shot. So was it Bam? Like someone should have helped if Strus was gonna overplay on the pass fake and bite and try to send help onto Tatum. Even though Tatum didn't have the ball, someone should have helped onto Derek White's cut, and nobody did, and they got the offensive rebound. They won the game. Crazy. I'm not even going to talk about the clock. Whatever. You can't do anything about that. Like, I disagree that the foul happened in 3 seconds, but it's whatever. Like we move past that. Whatever. And for everyone who's saying it was a double dribble, the NBA ruled that it was Jimmy Butler's 3 was not a double dribble. So, yeah, like Celtics fans, if you want to talk about double dribbles and stuff, that's like blatantly false because the NBA literally said that was not a double dribble. That was a legal shot because he got the ball poked out of his hands or something like that. I think that was their explanation when I saw it. But yeah, as far as the clock and stuff, it's just very janky. There was also a play where Jaylen Brown hooked Caleb Martin and they called an and-one and we challenged the call and they took out the foul. They took out the free throw. And Caleb Martin didn't have a foul next to his name, but they still counted the basket, which was extremely weird because Jaylen Brown had clearly hooked Caleb Martin to get that and one. So who knows, like, if that call is made properly, where Jaylen Brown does not get the bucket and he gets an offensive foul instead, like, the game is totally different because Brown was already in foul trouble, and we probably win that game because that's 2 points off the board for them. So. But again, it's just a game of hypotheticals, man. You can't really do much about it. Like, it's no use blaming the refs and stuff. Like, it is what it is at this point. You just got to go take care of business in Game 7. We are very capable of doing so. Again, I'm not panicking, stressing. I've seen a lot of people stressing on Twitter. I understand why. We've lost 3 straight. It's not easy to just be upbeat right now. But we are very capable of beating this team. And Jimmy is gonna have to start with him, bro, because if he sets the tone, others will follow, and even if he doesn't set the tone, they will follow him. They'll make sure that they step up like how they did in Game 6 with Gabe and Caleb and some of these role players. They've stepped up, so it's on the stars. Jimmy, Bam, both of them have to be aggressive from the jump. Whatever is wrong with Jimmy Butler's ankle, knee, whatever is bothering him, it doesn't matter at this point. It's your season's on the line. Go ahead. This is the type of game that you expect him to, do well in because their backs are against the wall. So whenever that is the case, you always see Jimmy and Bam have good games whenever their backs are against the wall. So I expect that to continue. I expect them to bounce back because they really have no choice. You know, it's game 7, and you guys are on the verge of blowing a 3-0 lead and making NBA history in the worst possible way. So, you know, it's not going to be easy because it's going to be in Boston. And again, like Boston, you know, I'm not saying their crowd is dead or whatnot, but they don't have a great home record these playoffs, which is absolutely fine. Like, I guess their record at home is just not that great, but it's still an away game. It's not at home. So we made it hard for ourselves, as we have done all season. I'm not saying it's going to be easy to bounce back from like the mental implications of that game where you literally, like, I thought this game was over. Like when Jimmy made that third free throw, I was like, okay, it's done. And then Smart missed the 3, and I was like, okay, we're good. And then you got that putback layup by Derek White, and it's like the whole, like, they must have been extremely deflated. But the Heat are not just another team. You know, they're a very resilient, mentally tough team. Probably the most resilient, mentally tough team in the NBA. And they've dealt with losses like this all season. So, like, this has kind of prepared them for this moment. I know it's the regular season, but I think we've lost the most games on buzzer-beating shots than any other team in the NBA. Like, not even close. So, like, this team is used to, you know, bouncing back from these type of games. I know it's a different circumstance when your season's on the line, but the feeling is still very similar. So, again, I expect the Stars to bounce back because they need to. Like, they really have to. And I'm still riding with the Heat, man. You know, like, I'm still picking the Heat. I still have the guts. Anybody who's a Heat fan who's not picking the Heat, I don't really know what to say to you because, like, y'all, this is the problem. Like, if you don't think we'll win, again, I'm not like saying that you're wrong because we don't know, but it's like, bro, like, it's 3-3. It's you, like, y'all are acting like we're losing the series. Like, it's literally tied. So if you want to pick the Celtics as a neutral because the Celtics have been playing better in the last 3 games, I completely understand. But if you're a Heat fan picking the Celtics in this game, y'all can stay on that side. And even if the Celtics do win, you still ought to be embarrassed of yourself for doing that. So, yeah, like, I don't understand, you know, why a lot of people just want to do that. Like, I think this is the perfect game for the Heat. They don't have any pressure. The Celtics are at home. They're favored. Yeah, the Heat are on the verge of blowing a 3-0 lead, but for this specific Game 7, the Celtics are favored by a lot. The Celtics are at home. They've been playing better. Nobody expects the Heat to win. And this is the type of game that the Heat thrive in because they're underdogs. They're just not expected to win this game. Whenever the Heat are looked to, whenever the Heat have expectations from the media, from the national, basketball fan base, that's when you get disappointed because, they don't have that chip on their shoulder anymore. They tend to take their foot off the gas pedal. But when they are counted out and when they are underdogs and when they, feel like the media, the fans, anybody is doubting them and just dismissing them, that's when you get the best version of this team. So I'm super pumped up for tomorrow. Again, whatever happens, it's been a great playoff, story for the Heat. It could either end in history or it could either end in history. It's 2 types of histories. Either you're the first 8 seed to go to the finals in 29 years, or you're the first team in NBA history to blow a 3-0 lead. So either way, you're making history. Again, obviously it's positive and negative, but you just got to go into this game as embracing the opportunity that you have in front of you, which is to go into Boston, a road arena against one of your fiercest rivals over the past decade. All the people who are watching these playoffs who are not Heat fans, and even some Heat fans are counting out the Heat. People are saying it's over. People are saying the Heat are going to be the first team ever to blow a 3-0 lead. You are being counted out. The Stars, Jimmy and Bam, people are saying are overrated, this, that. It's on you guys. I know a lot of them just be off social media, but there's no way they don't hear the fact that they're being heavily, not picked in this game. Everybody's picking Boston. Everybody's picking Boston. What are you going to do about it? All you got to do is go out and play hard from the jump. Whether you make shots or miss shots, again, all of that is whatever. I don't really care about shots missed or, made. I just care about aggressiveness. I care about tenacity, and I care about setting the tone. And it starts with the stars. Jimmy and Bam, y'all got to be better, and the role players will follow suit. And that's about it, man. That's all I have for you guys. I'm very pumped up about this game, and I think it's going to be I know it's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be a very, very good game. And I expect it to be a dogfight, but we have more dogs. I believe that wholeheartedly, and we are capable of winning this series and winning this Game 7 and going to the NBA Finals. So let's make history, man. Let's go out there and do what we're capable of doing. I'll see y'all after the game, man. Have a nice day. Peace.